Well, here we are again. Another round of 31 nights. 7th year already. Already done this for more than half a decade. Holy shit. Time fucking flies for sure. Anyway, The Cursed is a 2022 supernatural gothic horror film written and directed by Sean Ellis. It stars Boyd Holbrook, Kelly Riley, Alistair Petrie, hope I'm saying that right, among others. It was originally supposed to be titled 8 for Silver, but got changed to The Cursed. Personally, I like 8 for Silver better, but whatever. Let's start the review. The plot of this film centers on an isolated village in France that soon falls victim to a string of deadly animal attacks. Soon after, one of the villagers goes missing, and a search party is made to go find them and kill whatever is responsible for the attacks. But they soon find that this animal might not be any ordinary one, and this grisly reign of attacks may pertain to a horrible act committed by Seamus Laurent, played by Alistair Petrie, long ago. One thing I like most about werewolf films is that there have been so many different ways people have interpreted them. The Howling had an entire cult of them that would meet up in some place in the woods somewhere. American Werewolf in London was a more lighthearted take on it, but this one definitely stands out. They take their sweet time building up to the reveal of the beast, but holy shit, is it not going to be like anything you've ever imagined. Although I will admit the storyline did drag in some areas and even got confusing at some parts, the unique take on the subgenre and the gorgeous, hauntingly gothic atmosphere more than made up for it. I give plot a B+. Slow in some parts, but very creative overall. Next is acting, and it wasn't bad. Not anything I would call great, but pretty decent. There could have been a better emotional response to one of the villagers going missing to make it a little more impactful. Although I will say, two performances that definitely do stand out in this film are that of Kelly Riley and Alistair Petrie. There was just something about the way they interpreted their role that made it really engaging. There was especially such an emotional sense to Kelly's performance during the final act that was just so engaging overall and had me on the edge of my seat. And Petrie did a fantastic job portraying Seamus Laurent, since, as I said before, he did something so horrible that triggered the events in this film, and at the beginning you see what he did, and man does it make you loathe and disdain him with every fiber of your soul. I literally remember saying, "That fucking asshole," during one scene. So kudos to the actor for making his performance so believable that I actually started to hate him. But he also does grow as a character, and it's done in a very smooth way thanks to his subtle, yet very effective performance. I give acting a B+. Okay overall, but still fairly good in some areas. Next is cinematography, and I do feel as though it is a big part of how good the gothic atmosphere was. A lot of the lighting was fairly low, so nothing felt too exposed, which helped with the dark tone the film emitted. And Sean Ellis also did a fairly good job at shooting the beast at such intimidating angles. There would be scenes where the creature would be hidden behind something, so it almost looked like it was stalking its prey in that sense. Also had some fantastic wide-angle shots. I give cinematography an A. Next is special effects, which were easily one of the best parts of the movie. The effects in this movie got so disturbingly real in some areas that I found myself wincing because of how authentic they truly got. Especially when someone transforms, or the autopsy scene. That was probably the best special effects I've seen since John Carpenter's The Thing. I guess special effects an A+. Holy shit, were they fucking amazing. Finally, directing. While I do feel like the overall execution of the story could have, been a little better, Sean Ellis still managed to keep me intrigued by the way he built up this dark and hauntingly atmospheric world. He did such a fantastic job of giving you a feel of this time period that ends up feeling as though you were actually transported to that time. And like with what Robert Eggers did with The Witch, he seemed to have shot it in such an isolated area, which definitely helped emphasize the old world feel to it overall, as well as the isolated feel. I give directing an A. Such great world building on Sean's part, as I said before. Overall, while I will admit the curse did get somewhat boring at some parts, I still had a good time watching it since it still managed to give us something different with the werewolf genre and had such an impressively haunting tone to it overall. This is definitely one of the better werewolf movies I have seen, and it is refreshing to see them tackled in a slightly more dark and serious light. I give The Cursed an A-. Very underrated film overall. Well, that concludes our first video, chapter, whatever, in the 7th annual 31 Nights of Horror. Only 30 more to go. Woo! Yay! This is one of my more busier parts of the year. Anyway, don't forget to like and sub for more content.